Bayley versus Iyo Sky for the WWE Women's Championship. All right, so Bayley has new entrance music that it just basically sounds like a remix to her previous theme, Deliverance, which I'm a big fan of. Sounds nice. Sounds nice. So no complaints, and it had a very Egyptian feel to it because Bayley, of course, here came out in an Egyptian-inspired entrance with basically just the guys that were carrying her to the ring, who are probably some of the upcoming stars in NXT. Good to look out. Never forget that her fellow other three horsewomen, a couple of her other fellow horsewomen and Alexa Bliss once carried Triple H to the ring, basically, or at least walked out to the ring with him at WrestleMania 10 years ago, and look where they are now. So these guys one day might be talking about how, hey, they helped Bayley to the ring one day, and look where they are now. So that was really cool. Bayley's gear looked awesome. Once again, very Egyptian theme-esque. And then even the Titantron effects for Iyo Sky's entrance looked fantastic. She came out with a sick-looking jacket, but Damage CTRL stayed behind. So Iyo Sky, to her credit, as even a heel, she kept this one-on-one. And I figured they had to, because I knew there was going to be shenanigans in that main event. So, of course, they're not going to repeat the same thing here. So it was good that they did keep it a one-on-one fight. And then, very much the nice thing about the match here is the audience was really into it. They were singing the whole Bayley song, all that stuff with Bayley. So that was cool. Now that she's a babyface again. Plus, there's probably a lot of the UK crowd there, and they usually always sing that for Bayley when they're over there. But both ladies started off with an intense tie-up, and we've seen Bayley, I think, break out some moves that we haven't seen her done in a while, since now she's a babyface. Of course, I think she's been adding a more aggressive style since she's been working as a heel for the last 4 to 5 years. But I think 5 years now. And from there, and that's from what I can remember, though. Eventually, though, after Tope Suicida out the ring, Bayley starts limping, and this becomes the story of the match from here. Iyo is basically working over the leg with Seth. I say Seth Rollins, but she's working over the leg against Bayley. So very much like Seth Rollins, Bayley is now trying to overcome the odds of beating Iyo on one leg. So there's some nice looking spots here, like Bayley doing a sunset flip that sends the back of Iyo's head into the ring, into the turnbuckle. Iyo Sky hits a suplex. She hits a really good looking German suplex on Bayley and rolls back and holds on to Bayley and does another German suplex. So that was really cool. And then when it goes on when she goes for the over the moonsault, I think is what she calls it, Bayley gets both feet in the air, and it looks like basically that when Iyo Sky came down, because like Bayley had both her feet in the air, and Iyo Sky lands on it and just bounces right off like halfway across the ring. It looked phenomenal. And then from there, twice Iyo does this amazing counters into the crossface and even transitions into an STF. I cannot put Iyo over enough for how gorgeous her transitions and timing was in this match for the counters. Both women, they really start getting emotional, going back and forth, brawling, because of building up about the friendship that is now broken. At one point, Bayley goes for the Bayley to belly again, only for Iyo to transition it into a beautiful pin that gets a near fall on Bayley. And finally, Iyo Sky does land the moonsault, but Bayley kicks out. From here, Iyo Sky, she just starts spamming the moonsault over and over, like jumping on like the middle rope and then going back and jumping on the top rope and then doing it again. But I think when she tries it the third time, she ends up actually missing it. And when she ends up missing the third one, it's from here that Bayley comes along, and she basically does a 3-hit combo here. She delivers like a backdrop, like a side backdrop, and then from there hits the elbow in the Macho Man Randy Savage style. Ooh, yeah. And then finishes Iyo with the Rose Plant, which I think I forgot to mention. She hit the Rose Plant almost earlier, but Iyo did an amazing counter where she stopped it by landing on her feet, and this caused Bayley to go knee first into the canvas, and Iyo rolled through, and it looked fantastic. Once again, I cannot stress how awesome the counters in this match was. But after the second Rose Plant Iyo gets hit with by Bayley, Bayley scores the 1, 2, 3 for the championship to win, the women's title. This was fantastic. Now listen, Rhea versus Becky I thought was good last night. But this match I thought, man, was great. Like I would say Rhea versus Becky was good. This match was great. I thought this is definitely the best of the two women's championship matches we saw, and honestly the best of all the women's matches, and certainly definitely one of the show-stealing matches here in terms of like a lot of the other matches we had on the card. This was fantastic. Great emotion when Bayley won. It's so good to see Bayley, you know, after spending all these years. She really helped carry the company a lot throughout the pandemic, and now seeing where she was able to basically, you know, help build up Bianca over the last couple of years, and some of the other women having a good feud with Becky. Now it was Bayley's turn. Now she's back on top of the mountain as a champion, and we're going to see this new role model character that she created on the babyface side, and I'm all here for it. This was fantastic. Great shot, really showing what Iyo can do in the ring. So I thought she got a pretty good, decent championship run here. I just wish she would have won most of her matches clean, but nonetheless, this was great. And once again, I love the story of how it all builds up.